Nobody expected the Carolina Panthers to walk out of minicamp looking like a team on a mission. Just months ago, they were counted out, criticized, and quietly rebuilding from the ground up. But what's happening behind the scenes right now doesn't look like a rebuild. It looks like a reawakening. There's a new energy around this team, aggressive, focused, and urgent. And it's not just talk. Dave Canales has flipped the script in ways that most people aren't even noticing yet. The Panthers didn't just practice, they attacked minicamp. While most teams coast through these days, Carolina extended it, intensified it, and turned it into a proving ground. Canales isn't here to babysit this roster. He's here to raise the standard. His message was crystal clear. You already had your vacation. That's not motivational fluff. That's pressure. It's accountability. And it's what this team has been missing for years. What nobody's talking about is how that pressure is waking something up inside this locker room. Even players who've been here for years are saying, "This feels different." But here's where it gets really interesting. All of this intensity, it's being built around one thing, the offense. The part of this team that's been broken for far too long is suddenly the first area that looks locked in, and the quiet strength behind that change is happening in the trenches. The offensive line is no longer a weak point. It's becoming the backbone. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Panthers and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. Nobody's giving the Panthers' offensive line the credit it deserves, but maybe that's exactly why it might surprise the entire league. While critics focus on Carolina's skill positions, something serious has been happening up front. This unit used to fall apart the moment injuries hit. But now, after years of instability, it finally looks like a group that can hold the line under pressure. Not just stay afloat, but control games. And the most shocking part? It's already been tested. Last season, key starters missed time, Corbett was out for 12 games, Hunt and Lewis missed games too, and even Taylor Moton had his first real injury stretch. Yet somehow, the drop-off never came. Now, Brady Christensen is locked in at tackle, no longer floating across positions. That clarity alone speaks volumes about where this group is headed. Cade Mays and Corbett are locked in a serious battle for center, and both could end up starting quality options. Unlike past years where patchwork depth meant disaster, this group looks built to absorb hits. That's not just good news, it's essential. Because everything else on offense, from protection to the run game, depends on these five working like one. And here's where the pressure tightens. If the offensive line really holds, that means the spotlight shifts right to Bryce Young. There are no more excuses, no more hiding behind bad protection. It's time to find out who Carolina's quarterback really is. Bryce Young doesn't have time to grow slowly anymore. Year one came with chaos, rotating weapons, collapsing protection, and a system that never felt stable. But now, that excuse is gone. The front office didn't just invest in the offense, they tailored it for Bryce. They brought in structure, coaching consistency, and actual targets that fit his style. Every move they've made points to one truth: Bryce is the centerpiece. And whether this season succeeds or crumbles, will start with him. Andy Dalton is still in the building, but he's not here to compete. He's here to guide. Because the Panthers are all in on Bryce as their franchise quarterback. They've removed the noise, they've reinforced the foundation, and now they're waiting, not for flashes, not for glimpses, but for command. The kind of leadership that doesn't wait for comfort, but creates it on the field. The pressure isn't just on him to play better, it's on him to own this offense. And if Bryce is going to rise, he'll need more than time in the pocket. He'll need wideouts who can separate, stretch the field, and shift momentum. But that's where things get complicated. Because Carolina's receiver room isn't just crowded, it's combustible. And only a few will make it out. Carolina's wide receiver room is starting to feel like a powder keg, and only the sharpest route runners will survive it. With the arrival of top pick T-Mac, expectations have flipped overnight. He isn't being treated like a developmental piece, he's being counted on to produce now. Same goes for Xavier Legette and Jalen Coker, who are already being viewed as core pieces of the passing game. But once you get past those three names, everything gets unpredictable fast. There are too many bodies and not enough helmets to go around. The real tension is playing out at the back end of the depth chart. Hunter Renfrow could be a sure thing if he looks anything like his Pro Bowl self from 2021, but nothing is guaranteed. Jimmy Horn Jr. came in with high hopes, but hasn't been fully healthy. David Moore stepped up last year, but faces youth pushing in from every side. Guys like Jacoby George and Kobe Hudson have athletic upside, but if they can't contribute on special teams, their chances are fading fast. This isn't just about who can catch the ball, it's about who can earn a job. And here's the part nobody's talking about. Wide receiver isn't the only group fighting for survival. There's another unit on this roster with just as much pressure, but way more physicality. And one name at the center of it all might determine how far Carolina's defense can really go. Derrick Brown isn't just another piece of the defense. He's the heartbeat. And last year, that heartbeat stopped early. A torn meniscus in Week 1 derailed everything. Carolina's run defense collapsed, giving up more rushing yards than any other team in franchise history. Without Brown, the middle of the field was wide open, and every opponent knew it. But now, Brown is back in the building, and he's close, real close, to being fully cleared. If he's on the field when training camp opens, everything changes. What makes this year different is the insurance behind him. Carolina didn't just hope for health, they prepared for impact. They added Bobby Brown III and Tershawn Wharton to the rotation. They drafted Cam Jackson out of Florida. Shy Tuttle, who struggled last year, has been shifted into a more manageable role. For the first time in years, Carolina's defensive interior has depth, power, and flexibility. Brown no longer has to do everything himself, he just needs to anchor. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Brown might be the face of the defensive line, but there's a new generation rising behind him, young, aggressive, and already turning heads. And if they keep pushing like this, Carolina's pass rush could look completely different by Week 1. The Panthers' rookie class isn't acting like rookies, they're already operating with the mindset and discipline of seasoned pros. From Teteroa McMillan, who's eyeing a WR1 role, to edge rushers Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen, and even fourth-round safety Lathan Ransom, this group is pushing hard for real playing time. What sets them apart isn't just talent, but intensity. They're attacking every rep like it could make or break their careers, and that attitude is sending a clear message across the roster: jobs are on the line. In Carolina this year, earning a spot means doing more than just playing well. It means proving your value on special teams, too. Special teams might fly under the radar for fans, but for fringe players on the Panthers roster, it's a make-or-break battleground. Dave Canales has made it clear. If you're not making noise on offense or defense, your only shot at sticking around is on coverage units or returns. So here's what we want to hear from you. Should the Panthers add a veteran safety before camp opens? Or are you confident Ransom and Merritt can hold it down? And which off-season move do you think made the biggest impact so far? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're feeling the new Panthers energy, and subscribe for more hard-hitting breakdowns as we head into training camp.